eradicating corruption is central to eradicating extreme poverty.
Federal government moves to revitalize donor participation towards sustaining development goals.
I want to thank God that today we have you who have these platforms either in our state assemblies.
Gender equality, top priority for National Assembly. Speaker Dogara assures Nigerian women. Plus, global attention this Friday focused on promotion of safety and health at work to reduce work-related death. Hello and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I am Laure Bala Hassan. A bid to revitalize donor partnership for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals in Nigeria. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has inaugurated a donor forum in Nigeria. The Vice President reiterated the determination of the Buhari presidency in bringing everyone on board the vehicle of progress and prosperity. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The Vice President describes the social investment program of government as huge, with a budget of 500 billion naira annually. The social investment program, as he explains, is a pillar in government's economic recovery and growth plan.
There is no way of fighting poverty and its many causes and implications without social safety nets in one form or the other. It explains why we believe that eradicating corruption is central to eradicating extreme poverty. We cannot allow theft of public resources and speak of sustainable development.
The SDGs, he says, address existential problems such as extreme poverty, social inclusion, justice and environmental sustainability, among others.
Nurturing relationships with proactive development partners, such as are gathered in this room, is crucial if we're to make any real progress by 2030. We've learned many lessons from the implementation of the MDGs, especially that of ensuring that we set clear goals, timelines, and KPIs for ourselves and our important partnerships such as this.
The forum, as explained, would enhance partnership needed to achieve filling the financial gap, promoting economic diversification and inclusive growth, as well as promotion of science, technology, and innovation to support the implementation of the SDGs.
The essence of all this is to make life more meaningful to people of Nigeria. The commitment that has been made by the President Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, that Nigeria, as its member state of UN system, to achieve sustainable development.
Given its mandate and wide reach within the UN system and its interface with the donor community in Nigeria, the UNDP will anchor and act as the Secretariat for the Donors Forum on SDGs. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is still directing the affairs of the country, contrary to rumors. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, in an exclusive interview with Abolade Salami in Lagos, said there is no cause for alarm.
Adesina said President Muhammadu Buhari, since his return to the country from vacation in the United Kingdom, has been piloting the affairs of the country. He refutes the allegations that Mr. President's health has become a source of worry.
There was a statement yesterday, and that statement said no cause for apprehension. The president is here. He's running the country. You have not been told that the president is not working.
Adesina appealed to Nigerians to support the Buhari-led administration in its quest to rid the country of corrupt practices. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, says collection and utilization of reliable operational safety and health data is imperative in preventing work-related accidents. as Nigeria joins the international community to mark the 2017 World Day for Safety and Health at Work. Global attention is focused on promoting and creating safety and health culture to help reduce the number of work-related deaths. Hakimat Aliyu tells us more.
According to the International Labour Organization, ILO, it is estimated that at least one worker dies every day from work-related accident or disease, amounting to more than 2.3 million deaths each year. It is also estimated that over 313 million workers suffer non-fatal occupational injuries annually. As part of measures to address these, the 28th of April every year is set aside as World Day for Safety and Health at Work. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, speaks on the significance of the day.
There is an ILO global policy on decent work. Decent work entails that the work environment needs to be safe, it needs to be healthy, and the worker needs also to be well protected.
With this year's campaign focused on critical need for countries to improve their capacity to collect and utilize reliable occupational safety and health (OSH) data, Ayuba Waba said it is indispensable for detection of new hazards and emerging risks in different occupations. The theme for this year's World Day for Safety and Health at Work is Optimize the collection and use of OSH data, aimed at achieving healthy and decent workforce across the world. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NTA News.
And as part of activities to commemorate May Day celebration, members of the organized labor embarked on a road show in Abuja to create awareness on the upcoming Workers' Day celebration and to show support for government's drive in the fight against corruption. Emmanuel Imiro reports that all is now set for the Workers' Day celebration, slated for May 1st.
Workers' Day celebration affords the working people the opportunity to reflect on their struggles and make new demands from their employers where necessary. Part of what is expected to be talked about on the day is the need to renew the commitment of labor to the promotion of better packages for workers, social safety nets for the poor, and support the fight against corruption.
We have always stood against corruption and all these tendencies that we have supported. We have carried out several rallies in support of good governance and against corruption. We are for it. We are in support of it.
One of the ways to fight corruption is for them to give us a living wage.
Still in the spirit of Workers' Day celebration, disengaged contract workers of Mobile Producing Nigeria Unlimited staged a peaceful protest to appeal for government intervention over their non-payment of terminal benefits by Mobile since 2012. The retrenched workers are asking for the implementation of 30% retrenchment benefit agreed after a meeting with government representatives and the oil company.
This protest is all about the 1,444 disengaged service contract workers in ExxonMobil.
The retrenched workers want urgent government intervention as workers mark May Day. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
And turning our attention to the legislature, agencies concerned with regulations and control of expatriate quota system have been asked to judiciously carry out their duty and be vigilant to stop foreign companies shortchanging Nigeria. The chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Local Content, Emmanuel Ekon, gave the advice at a meeting with an oil and gas company operating in the country. National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa reports.
It was the discovery of the Committee on Local Content that the oil and gas company, FMC Technip, was operating without commensurate number of Nigerians in their payroll as provided for in Sections 1 and 6 and other relevant sections of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Chairman Emmanuel Ekon said the committee observed with dismay that the company has more contract staff Nigerians than those directly employed.
If the Minister of Interior and the Immigration Services are doing what they are supposed to do, we wouldn't have been coming here shouting on the IOCs to do the needful.
Managing Director of the FMC Technip Company, Michael Hunt, promised that the anomaly would be corrected and said the company had increased the pay package of the Nigerian workers.
With the team has done since the last meeting is we've had two pretty constructive meetings with NCDMB where we have discussed the plan to regularize.
The FMC Technique Company, which has been operating in the country since 1999, has till June 2017 to correct the violations and report back to the committee. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
And now to security matters. As part of efforts by the military to flush out the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists from their hideouts, the Nigerian Air Force fighter jets have successfully destroyed an artillery piece which was about to be sneaked into Sambisa forest. A statement by the Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Olatukumbo Adesonya, indicates that the artillery piece, which was concealed under a tree, was sighted by the Nigerian Air Force intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance aircraft, which immediately called for airstrikes by the combat platforms. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force has also successfully destroyed an illegal oil storage facility and other related items in some communities in the Niger Delta. The aim of the Air Force in destroying the illegal oil storage facility is to make oil thefts and illegal oil bunkering unprofitable as part of its contribution to protecting the nation's economic assets. Nigeria's request to the United Nations for support in demining of the Northeast is receiving favorable response. The Director, Defense Information, Major General John Enenche, said this at a press conference in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
The platform, a monthly interactive session involving defense correspondents and the Director of Defense Information, is aimed at updating the public on military operations and security issues. Considering the vast nature of the Northeast, the scope of the areas infested with hidden explosives, and the huge resources required to fully demine the zone, the Director of Defense Information noted that Nigeria is expecting assistance from the international community.
The promise is very encouraging for the whole of that area to be demined.
At the forum, the military allayed Nigerians' fear on the reinsurgency of Boko Haram.
A good number of them are surrendering, they are welcoming, and they are interested in Operation Safe Corridor.
Similarly, officers and soldiers have been urged to maintain high standard of regimentation and professionalism in their line of duty. Deputy Chief Intelligence, Defense Intelligence Agency, Major General Adamu Jalingo, said this at the Median Guards Brigade Inter-Battalion Change of Guards competition.
Ceremonial and regimental parades are very unique aspects of every army, and it is the bedrock of regimentation and discipline.
7 Guards Battalion emerged winner, while the 177 Guards came second at the event. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The presidency says the report in circulation by the Premium Times on recruitment in the Department of State Services, DSS, is true, but taken in isolation of the context it was done. In a statement, the presidency explained that the recruitment done was to allow states that were shortchanged in previous recruitments have slots to enable them achieve a fair representation. Adding that in an investigative medium such as the Premium Times should have done a better job. It said in an organization that is very sensitive and an important one for national cohesion and stability, such as the Department of State Services, DSS, there is always the need to ensure balance in recruitment and manning. It added that this is also true of institutions such as the Army, the Navy and Air Force, where such balancing in line with federal character is breached. The need arises from time to time to find a way of redressing such iniquity. It emphasized that it is in the interest of peace, stability and general well-being of the nation that all component units are fairly represented in organizations such as the DSS. Participants at a colloquium are canvassing for the creation of an independent agency to complement INEC in effective monitoring and auditing of political parties' spendings. This, they say, is another way of fighting corruption in Nigeria. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Bernukudu reports.
The roundtable, which attracted legal practitioners, politicians and civil society activists, dwelt on how to enforce the ceiling on political campaign expenditure. They proposed the establishment of a different agency, apart from INEC, to regulate and monitor those spendings by parties and candidates.
Where would you expect a young technocrat who has done so well in World Health Organization that you want him to come and help rebuild Nigeria, and you put nomination fee for governorship at 20 million naira?
But more importantly, our people must be sensitized and enlightened to believe that elections are not necessarily bought by money, and it is not the biggest spender that should be voted into office.
The proposal and consensus is building on that is that a different agency should do that, because INEC is expected to be neutral. INEC may find it incongruous with its mandate to blackmail a political party for exceeding its financial limits.
Some of the speakers advised for further reforms in the Electoral Act, especially in the areas of reviewing the funds for campaigns by political parties. In Abuja, Abdullahi Gerba Brunonkudu, NTA News.
Speaker, House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has assured Nigerian women of the passage of the Gender Equality Bill before the National Assembly. He said this when he met with a delegation from the Conference of Female Parliamentarians of State Houses of Assembly. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Speaker Yakubu Dogara noted that the Gender Equality Bill is already at the committee stage. He implored state legislators to engage the National Assembly in ensuring that they reach a consensus on areas of conflict. The Speaker identified indigenship for married women and citizenship for spouses of Nigerian women as some of the areas of concern that should be addressed.
We want to thank God that today we have you who have these platforms either in our state assemblies or in the National Assembly. By National Assembly, I mean both the House of Representatives and the Senate, where you are serving with distinction. And so there's no excuse.
Like some countries have quota system for female contestants. And those quota system takes care of all the challenges that the women go through.
Dogara also used the opportunity to call for the adoption of Option A4, an independent candidacy in Nigeria's electoral process. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Up ahead, FRSC moves to enhance recovery of stolen vehicles, train security operatives on number plates identification. Details when we return.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Let's pepper them. So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Timaya, baby. I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Talk. It's gonna be a mad over your 10.
Yo, wait, you know, we are showstoppers.
I am your host for the biggest show ever.
If we miss the store, we're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria
I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there. All Nigeria's A-list musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct. Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out because we dey come.
Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour.
Glow Unlimited.
Go now! Not hear your pikin here for nothing.
You no need to sabi plenty computer. Just sabi down special 8 keys wey dey on top computer. A, B, C, D for to take answer question. P for preview or back. N for next or forward. Double click S for submit. And arrow for return or reverse. And send or form. Not be 6 months again, no. Now only 1 month. From March 20 to April 19. But JAMB don extend registration till May 5, 2017. So that applicant go get better opportunity to register. And optional mock exam na April 29. Examination na 13 to 20 of May 2017. No more scratch card o. Buy your pin at approved banks and waka go any approved JAMB CBT center for registration.
No wuru-wuru plus mago-mago for JAMB again o. If you no read well, you go fail.
This message is by Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
Hi there, my name is Fumi Wakama of the NTA. I'd like to introduce to you my friend and colleague, hardworking, creative and vibrant reporter,
Ruben Okala, NTA News.
Ruben Okala, the saint as we all call him. All this while we thought Saint Ruben is just a crack reporter, but he's also a great musician. I'd like to invite you to the public presentation of his album titled Breaking News, coming up on Saturday, the 29th of April, 2017 at the Arts and Culture Center opposite UTC, Area 10, Abuja at 4 o'clock in the evening. Red carpet starts at 3 p.m. I will be there. I hope to see you there.
From the south-south to the northeast, southeast to the northwest, southwest to the north-central, the Future Assured project and its component, Get Involved, is restoring hope to millions of Nigerian women and children.
We are actually doing a lot under Future Assured, the program of Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. And I believe what we are doing so far is impacting positively on the lives of women and children in Nigeria, particularly those in the internally displaced camps across the nation.
Get Involved supports the Future Assured initiative. Email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Welcome back. You're watching NTA Network News. The federal government has urged all state governments to allow free movement of people on Saturday, 29 April 2017 to enable students to participate in JAMB's voluntary mock examination nationwide. In a statement, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said the mock examination is being conducted ahead of the 2017 UTME to enable interested students to familiarize themselves with the computer-based test environment. Muslims have been reminded of the obligation to observe the rights of neighbors. Imam of Community Jumat Mosque, Wuse Zone 3, Abuja, Ustaz Tajuddin Muhammad Bello, stated this in his sermon at today's Jumat prayer. Abdullahi Musa Suleja has details.
Nigeria has in the recent time passed through needless violence which observers say were due to lack of love, patience and respect for one another. Imam Tajuddin said, Islam forbids Muslims to harm neighbors, but rather makes it mandatory for the Muslim to protect and be kind to them. He said, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized on the need for Muslims to constantly be good to neighbors irrespective of their faith.
Neighborhood in Islam comprises of 40 houses by your left and 40 by your right and 40 in your front and 40 in your back. You can see that the whole cycle are your neighbors.
Some Muslims who listened to the sermon comment.
What Rasulullah is trying to let us understand is that our neighbors, they should feel the impact of our presence. They should feel comfortable that, no, this is my neighbor. Whether we don't share the same belief, I have reliance in him.
In a situation where your neighbor is crying about how his children are going to feed, and you have a lot of money stashed somewhere, it is ungodly.
Even the social aspect also, which many Muslims are feeling at the moment. For instance, you see the children of your neighbor misbehaving, you don't want to talk to them because you feel that they are not your own children.
The sermon also touched on the importance of observing fasting in the month of Sha'ban, the 8th in the Islamic calendar, which Imam Tajuddin said attract immense rewards preparatory to Ramadan. Abdullahi Musa Sleja, NTA News.
A validation meeting of various anti-corruption agencies and the civil society has adopted a strategic document to efficiently and effectively tackle corruption issues in the polity for national development. Ogechi Paul spoke with the Solicitor General of the Federation and other stakeholders on the new face of the anti-corruption war.
The National Anti-Corruption Strategy document is a harmonization of collated observations and concerns of stakeholders into a policy document for a sustainable fight against corruption in all ramifications.
This strategy, which has now been adopted by all stakeholders, is one that includes all the anti-corruption agencies.
Three broad contexts are highlighted. The fact that corruption has been pervasive and systemic in the country, identifiable gaps in the complementary institutional and structural strategies in the fight against corruption, which must be closed, and the determination by the present administration to situate the fight within the bounds of democracy and the rule of law.
The international community, of course, would take us much more seriously because we now have a proper strategy in place that guides our processes.
If we have this clearinghouse here, I think it will go a long way in bringing the dramatic personnel that have been, as it were, that have been having issues with themselves under this umbrella. They can sort out themselves and present a common front in the fight.
The policy thrust of the National Anti-Corruption Strategy rests on the prevention of corruption, enforcement, sanctions and recovery of proceeds of corruption, public enlightenment, and the campaign for ethical reorientation. Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
Nigerian government will continue to strengthen the prison service to conform with global standard. Minister of Interior Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazau stated this at the inauguration of over 300 vehicles purchased by the present administration for use by the Nigerian prison service. Marjanatu Adam Saeed reports.
The Nigerian prison service has been grappling with numerous challenges, which include infrastructural decay, logistical constraints, slow phase of criminal justice administration, prisons break, congestion, pre-trial and detention of suspects is also an issue occasioned by the challenges. This, the Minister of Interior believes is unacceptable to the present administration. He believed that the challenges are further compounded by the limited capacity of prisons to convey awaiting trial inmate to court for trial.
There are about over 5,000 courts within the country that we take these prisoners to on a daily basis. The President himself is very interested in ensuring that we get things right.
The major challenges facing the prison service has been addressed in a practical manner.
22 of the vehicles are farm machines meant to be used for food production by inmates and that can reduce the cost of food purchased by government and in line with the diversification of the economy policy. With the presentation of these 382 vehicles to the Nigerian Prison Service, it is evident that the federal government is committed in addressing the challenges confronting the Nigerian Prison Service. From the headquarters of the Nigerian Prison Service in Abuja, Morijana to Adam Said, NTA News.
The need for a robust database in the country that will not only promote safety and national security, but also assist in the fight against international crimes and global terrorism forms the thrust of a discussion at a training workshop for security agencies by the Federal Road Safety Corps. Aliyu Tukur reports.
The workshop, which is on National Vehicle Identification Scheme, is to serve as a synergy between security agencies and to create opportunities for all the services to operate on the same level. With a more advanced web-based verification portal for driver's license and number plates, the system will produce vital information like the demographics, biometrics and offenses committed by the holders of the driver's license and number plates. This, the co-marshal said, makes the new portal necessary for all security agencies in the country to key into and be on the same page with its technicalities and application in identifying suspects and perpetrators of crimes and criminal acts.
More security features have been built in the system to make it impossible for the licenses to be faked or obtained by proxy.
This feat by the Federal Road Safety Corps using information technology should be supported by all Nigerians.
The innovativeness of the FRSC, I beg your pardon, is a positive development, especially in the fight against insecurity.
The workshop is the second in the series in the Corps' commitment to sharing its data with other security agencies. In Abuja, Aliyu Tukur, NTA News.
And now to education. In a bid to complement government's effort in providing healthcare services and developing education, Bayes University Abuja has laid a foundation for the construction of its teaching hospital. Permanent Secretary, Federal Capital Territory, Babatokpe Ajakaye, who performed the ceremony on behalf of the Minister, Muhammad Musa Bello, said the project couldn't have come at a better time. Abdullahi Musa Suleja has details.
Since inception of Bayes University Abuja 6 years ago, the institution continues to maintain some levels of progression, which its board of management said their dream has always been coming true. The university recently secured approval for accreditation of some science courses, among them medicine. Babatokwe Ajekai said the university is progressing beyond expectation, considering the time it came into existence.
This marks the beginning of a seamless provision of highest possible standard of medical care and production of high-quality medical personnel, which will culminate in the provision of a world-standard healthcare facilities for the teeming population of the FCT and indeed Nigeria.
Chairman Board of Management Ahmadu Awokar, who said management has fulfilled, promised to comply with FCT master plan and building guidelines. Dr. Yusuf Dattibaba Ahmad is the Pro-Chancellor of the university.
If you consider the amount of capital flight that the teaching hospital of Bayes University will prevent, then the outflow of the best brains that we have in Nigeria that we can retain to offer humanitarian services, to offer research, and then again to recycle knowledge in Nigeria, it's like we are opening a whole new world.
The university, who started with students little above 1,000, now boasts of more than 4,000 students. In Abuja, Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Educationist and founder of Afe Babalola University at Ado-Ekiti, Afe Babalola has recommended a national educational summit to grow the sector. He made the recommendation at a reception in honor of former Executive Secretary of the NUC, Professor Julius Okoje, and his successor, Professor Abubakar Rashid. Michael Olaleye reports.
The brilliance and academic dexterity of Professor Okoje, the university behavior is to mentor to the quality assurance imprinted in all its programs. Hence, This reception afforded the community the opportunity to share special moments of how Professor Koje's tenure benefited their specialties, with optimism that the new executive secretary will equally take tertiary education to a lofty height.
Africa and Bangalore have built on solid rock, but I can point to success stories. Why is it that Nigerians don't want to give and donate? How many Nigerians give professional share?
The new executive secretary, Professor Abubakar Rashid, who was represented by a director at the commission, Dr. Rukiyat Kure, reaffirmed the commission's determination to entrench standard in Adwekiti. Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Up next is Lagos, where Ademola Adeoye is waiting. Ademola, it's over to you.
Thank you, Laura. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Investigative and balanced news reportage fosters the unity of a nation. Former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, said this at a book launch titled Against the Run of Play, written by Olusegun Adeniyi, former special advisor on media and publicity to late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Abolade Salami has the details.
The 212-page book with 12 chapters chronicles how former President Goodluck Jonathan lost 2015 presidential election to the incumbent president Muhammadu Buhari. Former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar noted that it was high time journalists began to report issues without bias. He urged them to desist from unnecessary reports that could lead to revolt in the country.
To the extent that journalists are expected to inform, educate, and entertain, that also means that it is their responsibility to stimulate robust and unbiased debate.
The author, Olusegun Adeniyi, said the book was written to x-ray how an incumbent, for the first time since 1999, was defeated in an election.
I decided to research into why it is difficult for incumbent presidents to lose in Africa. Eventually, I was able to locate fractionalized opposition as the main factor.
The book reviewer, Chidi Amuta, said the book, Against the Run of Play, clarifies and reconciles the various interpretations of controversies that trace the Jonathan's administration.
The first chapter, 2011 and the hard bargain, explains the circumstances under which Jonathan was allowed to run for the presidency in 2011.
Various speakers at the book launch extolled the author for his in-depth research on the book. The author, Olusegun Adeniyi, has authored several books, of which is The Last 100 Days of Abacha, amongst others. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Shareholders showered encomiums on the board of directors and management of FCMB Group PLC after receiving 10 kobo per share dividends at the 4th annual general meeting of the group in Lagos. Musa Toliat completes the report.
Shareholders of FCMB Group PLC lauded the 2016 business performance of the group. They said, in view of the economic recession that slowed down business activities in various sectors of the country, the board and the management of FCMB Group PLC have done remarkably well.
I have to commend them for the profits.
In a year of recession, and they were still able to pay the shareholders a dividend of 10 kobo.
I will just encourage them to continue to make sure that they hold for the ship.
Profit after tax stood at 14.3 billion naira as against 4.8 billion naira in 2015. This, the group says, accounted for 198% growth on a total asset base of 1.17 trillion naira.
Due to our resilience, due to the depth of our people, due to the strength of our customer base, we are quite pleased with what happened.
We had certain sources of income during the course of 2016 that are unlikely to repeat themselves. So we had to prepare ourselves for a more challenging year.
We've seen significant improvements in operational efficiency, and therefore we have a very bright hope for 2017.
To sustain a steady profit growth in 2017, FCMB Group PLC says it will continue to consolidate on its solid business model by deploying technology to boost efficiency and enhance customer experience. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And now to business news. Nigerian Stock Exchange renews partnership with London Stock Exchange as commercial banks in the country evolve strategy to deal with electronic fraud in the banking industry. Ameji Pius has details on our business news segment.
Hello, here are some top business stories. The Nigerian Stock Exchange and the London Stock Exchange have renewed strategic partnership to deepen visibility and market development capacity between the two capital markets. Representatives of the two exchanges, while endorsing the partnership for another 2 years in Lagos, told newsmen that their partnership, among others, will create a solid foundation for dual listing on both markets.
We have a pipeline of companies who are interested in dual listing. The economy is beginning to turn around. We're seeing more interest in terms of public offers.
So the propensity and the opportunity for this market to grow, given that it's still Africa's largest economy, is immense.
Electronic and other card-related fraud in the banking industry will soon be a thing of the past. This is because operators of banks and other financial institutions, as well as the Central Bank of Nigeria, are concluding arrangements to deploy a database that will eliminate electronic fraud. This was disclosed at the end of a bankers' committee meeting held in Lagos. The database, when deployed, will detect fraudulent transactions, and offenders will be banned from operating in the industry.
Very steep measures will be implemented to make sure that, first of all, people don't do it. Secondly, if they are repeat offenders, they are kind of taken out of the banking system.
The committee also examined other issues with special focus on how to sanitize the nation's foreign exchange market and contribute meaningfully towards ensuring that Nigeria gets out of recession.
We strongly believe that the economy is on its way out of recession.
And here's the stock market report.
Market capitalization was 8.91 trillion naira, while the all-share index finished at 25,758.51 points. WAPCO led other gainers with a 2 naira 42 kobo gain, while Julius Berger's shares dropped by 2 naira 9 kobo.
And that's business news.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
When the kings of African comedy gather under one roof,
there is only one outcome. Then we bring down the roof. Come witness the craziest and the funniest, the oh my God, and the baddest of them all. Laughter will scatter your brain well.
Come watch the biggest names in African comedy at Glow Laughter Fest. Basket Mouth, Bovi, I Go Die, Sheyi Law, Gordons, Salvador, Osama, Bash, Kenny Black, and many more.
You will never have a bigger gathering of jaw-dropping, hip-cracking comedians under one roof. One microphone, one network.
All over Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I am gonna be there. I'm going to be there.
Live and direct.
For the time of your life. Will you?
To win a free ticket, use 2,000 Naira in a month and text LOL and your preferred location to 240.
Oh, Laughter Fest. Laugh go kill you, die.
True.
Glow Unlimited.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
What happened? It was a mosquito. Oh! Oh! Daddy, here!
What's happening here?
Mama, mosquitoes.
I sprayed, but the mosquitoes aren't dying. No longer, because I bought Motane Power Guard, which kills 100% mosquitoes. Motane Power Guard kills 100% mosquitoes.
Where is the pulp? The pulp. Where is the pulp? Where is the pulp?
Taste the goodness of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where's the pulp?
5 Alive Pulpy Orange, now in your neighborhood.
chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
Welcome back. Many thanks for rejoining us in Abuja. Coordinators of the National Youth Service Corps scheme have been charged on being proactive in crisis management and media relations. Director General of the scheme, Brigadier General Suleiman Kazauri, gave the charge at a one-day workshop on crisis management and media relations in Bauchi. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports.
The workshop, which is the first of its kind since the establishment of the NYSC scheme, became imperative due to some avoidable crises that have confronted the scheme in recent times. With the theme Crisis Management and Media Relations, the management of the National Youth Service Corps scheme noted that certain factors that includes poor human relations and management, overzealousness on the part of some camp officials, negligence and abdication of responsibilities, harboring and suppression of information are major causes of the problems facing the scheme.
When corps members agitate or when corps members do one thing or the other, and state coordinators would think they cannot handle such situation or talk to press. So this training is just a way of sensitizing them that the press is their friend.
The NYSC Director General inspected the NYSC Integrated Farmhouse in Bauchi.
Members going to agro-allied and animal husbandry, they are going to be in the farmland, in our farmhouse. They will stay here, they will stay for 1 year. After that 1 year, we're expecting them to also set their own farmland for them to be self-reliant.
Sited on 146 hectares in Dungulbi village, the project is part of the NYSC's entrepreneurship program. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
We will now take another break, after which Global Tidbits, sports updates, and Saturday's weather will be up. Don't go away.
I've waited so long for this game. There's a problem with this camera.
What's happening? No. Guys, we are not missing the match. You ain't going. Hello, hey.
Nice. On a try. Oh. Hold on, guys. Glow can actually borrow me data. So let's get back to watching it. I told you.
Borrow me data from Glow. Dial *321#, even if your account balance is 0. Data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink, the food we eat. They are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, U.S. President hails Chinese President over his role in North Korea crisis as protest heightens in Tunisia over corruption and unemployment allegations. Ogechi Paul has more on Global Tidbits.
U.S. President Donald Trump has hailed President Xi Jinping of China over his role in handling North Korean crisis, describing him as a very good man who loves his country. Admitting the possibility of a major conflict in the North-South Korean conflict, Mr. Trump is advocating a diplomatic solution. The UN Security Council is meeting to discuss North Korea as China threatens sanctions against North Korea if it conducts further nuclear tests. Palestinians are warming up for a showdown across the occupied territories in solidarity with over 1,500 prisoners on hunger strike in Israeli prisons. The planned day of rage was called for by Fatah, the political party of Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, and the National Committee to support the prisoners. The solidarity march is intended to lead to the nearby military checkpoints across the West Bank to confront Israeli soldiers. And finally, on Global Tidbits, protesters in Tunisia have booed its Prime Minister Youssef Chahed during a town hall meeting in a southeastern region replete with protests and a general strike. The protest is coming 6 years after a revolution ignited by grievances over joblessness, corruption and perceived marginalization of the country's talakawas. As Global Tidbits, Ogechi Paul, NTA News.
And now sports. The ability of stakeholders to select the right teachers who will not depend solely on government for the funding of the program and activities of their federation elections in the country have been emphasized. Adeola Omokive reports on the contributions of the parliamentarians on the issues.
The parliamentarians, in their various views, asked questions on how to put in place the right leadership in national federations and how to prevent federations from running to government to always fund its program and activities.
Don't you think that members of the sports associations should first of all agree on what should be the goals for each federation?
In Nigeria, we have had talks of so many sports policy, but do we have anyone that is guiding us? So the federations are just left to be rigmaroling.
What would you say is the single biggest challenge that is not allowing our federations to be sustainable entities in Nigeria?
The lack of a clear-cut plan of being able to generate funds for the federation.
Maybe the ministry can also take a look at this issue of lack of constitution among the federations.
It therefore behoves on national federations to come out with constitutions to ensure it has a well laid down plan for developing its sports. In Lagos, Adeola Omokive, NTA News.
Talking sports. Arrangements concluded for Saturday's Maiden Nigeria Armed Forces Half Marathon Championship in Abuja as 19th edition of Nigeria Polytechnic Games begins Saturday at the Polytechnic Nasarawa. Ayodeji Makinde has details on sports updates.